One of the hardest things to do is find a game adjacent to a game you already like. I'm trying to do that for people who enjoy specific games. This video has a ton of different options, all for you. You already love these games, but let's find out about their even better, weirder cousins. Hey y'all, I'm Caravan Dan from Gaming Caravan. I've played almost 1,000 different board games, also you don't have to. Today I'm pairing very popular hits with games that you don't even know exist. Each pairing is based on the vibe of the game, mechanics of the game, and just the overall feel of the game. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. By the way, if you haven't subscribed yet and you want to see more videos like this, go ahead and drop and press that button really quickly. Starting off with Quacks to Quedlinburg, who does not like this game? If you haven't played this game yet, this is a bag building, push your luck game that is available to anyone. Anyone can play this game. It's very simple, very easy. You just, push your luck, try to pull tiles out of your bag, get the highest score possible before you think you're going to bust, and then you use the money or points that you get to go ahead and get more tiles to add to your bag, which all do different things depending on what side that the board's going to be on. Additionally, we have Wonderland's War. Wonderland's War is a game where it is also a bag builder with an area control mechanic, because now you get points based on controlling certain locations. You have to try to not overcommit to different areas on the field. You also have to draft in a different, way more strategic way the tiles they put into your bag. Additionally, everyone has different player powers, meaning you interact with the board in completely and utterly different ways. But in my opinion, it's more of a fulfilled experience, because Quacks to Quedlinburg, even though it is simultaneous action, which we all love, it's very simple in one note, which is very replayable for me over a long period of time. But Wonderland's War is a nice take that combat skirmish type game with no combat skirmish game that lasts about 30 minutes per player, which is only slightly longer than Quacks to Quedlinburg if you play without the max amount of people involved, but overall it is a great experience. Next we have Splendor, genuinely a worldwide phenomenon, effectively. There's so many different versions of this game. You got Marvel Splendor, you got Pokemon Splendor, you got Splendor Duel. They all play in slightly different ways, but people know this game through and through. One of the original recipe fulfillment engine building games that's very simple to understand and do. But if you like that game, check out Country Spice Road. Check out Century Spice Road. If you don't know, Century Spice Road or Century Golem Edition are games where you have cards in your hand and you have to have a certain amount of gems in order to fulfill and get a certain amount of cards. Sound familiar? The game will end whenever a certain amount of tokens are removed from the board that are also given to people for scoring purposes. You'll have cards inside of your hand that you play on the field. The gems actually have a hierarchical value, so basically 2 of one can turn into another one. You have to upgrade the gems to get to different tiers, which are worth more objectively in the fulfillment purposes, which is pretty cool. So it has a similar feel to it, the points you need and get cards you need, but overall it's not too different. Although the game plays pretty differently by utilizing the cards in your hand and playing them as opposed to just doing the actual action. It's been compared by a lot of my friend group, a lot of people I know, to have a similar feel of the game, an overall good vibe, and a shared mechanic of the recipe fulfillment, which is pretty intuitive. This next game is a very popular party game, Secret Hitler. People love Secret Hitler. I don't really get the hype of these social deduction games, but I know Secret Hitler is a very beloved game because there's 3 different factions you're playing with. There are one side, the other side, and then Hitler. That's basically the game. You're trying, one side to make sure Hitler's not getting to power, the other side wants Hitler in power, and Hitler wins if he's in power. It's that kind of thing, very simple, very easy to understand. If you like that kind of game, definitely check out Feed the Kraken, which in my opinion is one of the only good social deduction games out there. I played a lot of them, I don't really like too many of them, but this one is a very similar vibe because there are also 3 different factions to it. You have the sailors, you have the pirates, and then you have the cult leader. The pirates want to get to the pirates location, sailors want to get to the sailors location, and the cult leader wants to be fed to the Kraken. Very similar in that regard. Overall, there is less of a reason to hide who you are in Secret Hitler and Feed the Kraken, but Feed the Kraken has a lot more control in the game, a lot less abstract finger pointing like, oh, I think it's you just because of vibe. I think it's you because you haven't talked in this game. Feed the Kraken utilizes actual real strategy based on the people that you pick, based on who, what cards are being revealed at what time, and I think overall it is just a better game. So if you like Secret Hitler, definitely check out Feed the Kraken. Next up, we have Air, Land, and Sea, and also Marvel Snap. If you don't know Air, Land, and Sea, it's a very straightforward lane battler, where basically you're using cards in your hand and the cards in the unused deck so far to try to gain control of certain lanes. It's kind of a push your luck game because if you think you're going to win, you're going to want to stay involved, but you can also succeed and just end the round. The earlier you end the round, the less points that the other person gets. But if you both think you're going to win and no one ends the round, then whoever ends up winning gets a lot more points, which is pretty interesting. It is a fun lane battling game. Very straightforward, made by Arcane Wonders, which is a good company. However, I think a better game that's less known, more replayable, with a better theme is Compile. Compile is now owned by Tycoon Games. It's a lane battler, which is very interesting. Everyone's an AI. You draft 3 different traits of an AI, and they're all pretty abstract traits. You can have love, you can have earth, you can have water, you can have speed, you can have light, death, whatever it might be. You draft 3 traits, make your own individual decks, and what you want to do is get your lane to get the value 10. If you end up doing that with all 3 lanes, you win. But you also play cards to have different effects. Some cards have permanent effects, some cards have one-time use effects, some cards just have conditional effects, which are pretty fun. And depending on the comp you use with the cards that you draft, you can have nice synergies in different ways. Speed allows you to play multiple cards at once. Love will allow you to gift cards to the other player. Death will allow you to destroy cards on the field. All that fun stuff. So there's a lot of cool synergy to this, a lot of fun experience to this. It's very replayable, not that long. It's like 30 minutes or less, and has the same flow of Air, Land, and Sea, but less randomization and more replayable, strategic, like esports vibe. Last but not least is one of my favorite games in general, and very reminiscent for me and very important in my life, is Munchkin. If you don't know, Munchkin is a very take that kind of random wonky, I don't know, it's a game where it's a dungeon crawler technically. If you like Munchkin, or even if you don't like Munchkin, you want to find a better version of Munchkin, sorry guys, I love Steve Jackson games, I love Munchkin, Marvel Munchkin, I have like everything for it, but Binding of Isaac is a better version of Marvel Munchkin. Marvel Munchkin is known for being a very random-based game. I know people who say that it's 20 to 30% luck, or 20-30% strategy, 70-80% luck. In Binding of Isaac, it boosts it to being more about like 60% skill and 40% luck, because you're utilizing the characters that you draft in the game. You all can have a different character in the game with different starting weapons, different abilities. Additionally, whenever you go after monsters, it's based on a die roll to attack, not die roll to run away, but you're also using the combat power that you have versus the HP/defense that the opponent has. You can attack each other, and you can't play just a million cards on your turn. Off your turn, you can only play 1 card until it gets back to you, then you refresh, and also that can be mitigated based on cards you have in play. It's a lot more balanced. The cards aren't nearly as extreme either, except for the R key, which you get rid of. R key literally resets the entire game and starts from the beginning, which is fun, but sucks when you're like an hour and a half into what would have been a 2-hour game. Munchkin I've seen last up to 6 hours. I've been in those games before. It averages to like 3 or 4 hours in my experience. Well, it averages 3 hours in my experience. Binding of Isaac plays a lot shorter. It plays the full 4-player count in less than 2 hours, if not at 2 hours, which isn't that bad whatsoever. It's a more fulfilled experience, and you're blaming people less. It's not the situation where in Munchkin, if you don't know, commonly when we get to level like 8 or 9, people just start playing all the cards against you, and then you try to use your cards for yourself to win the game. Everyone burns the cards against you, and then the next player will win the game because no one has anything to defeat that player, stop them from getting first place. Binding of Isaac, as I said, you cannot play a million cards at once, so you can really have to strategically think which card you want to play in order to prevent players from getting the 4 souls. Overall, I very much appreciate it, and also it's a video game IP. If you don't know, I'm a huge fan of video game IPs. So let me know what games you would have suggested instead for the games I just mentioned. Let me know if you've played any of the games I mentioned and what you think about them. That's everything for today. Peace, have a great day, God bless, and I hope to see you at the table soon. If you want to find out how to build the best introduction board game collection, go ahead and check my previous video on my channel.